Welcome back to What She Says Sports. You up? All right. I see Gracie. I see Tina. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? We're going to get the music going so we could talk. This podcast, as y'all know, have a different vibe. Thank y'all for riding out with me earlier today. I appreciate it. So we're going to get the music going. That way, if Jerry join us, we already good. We already good to go. All right. Woo, it's been a day. A lot happening with the Colorado Buffs back at practice. Got some content to look at, some videos to look at. Obviously, y'all know, Shador is in Cleveland, and y'all know the story with that. I might have a snippet or two from that earlier from today, too. We'll close out with that. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to get going right into it. All right. All right, let's see what we got first. First up on deck. All right, so Georgia Tech had kind words for Coach Prime. I'm going to turn the music down.
In public and really encourage other people and encourage other people to get themselves checked and tested. And I mean, it hits home with a lot of people, I'm sure. So, really look forward to him being on the other sideline in a month from now. And man, gosh, just terrible situation, but glad to see he's really pushed through it. And, the grit and the toughness that he has. I mean, that's why the team plays the way they do. Just really wish him, full recovery, speedy recovery. But really just admire the courage it takes to come out and talk about that in public and really encourage other people and encourage other people to get themselves checked and tested. And I mean, it hits home with a lot of people, I'm sure. So, really look forward to him being on the other sideline in a month from now. And man, gosh, just terrible situation, but glad to see he's really pushed through it. And,
So, I saw this and I was like, wow, Georgia Tech had really kind words for Coach Prime, following diagnosis of bladder cancer, surgery, and everything that, went with that. And I popped up on this on X. I told y'all, get X, I'm over there. Got even a little blue check mark, growing podcast over there. Same one here, but, I told y'all X is the place where a lot of stuff come out first. I probably wouldn't even saw this on YouTube if it weren't for X. So this is why I'm over there too. So I just thought it was nice. It's not game week. He didn't have to say this. It's still 31 days until game day. So I just wanted to share this with y'all that, Georgia Tech head coach had kind words of courage and encouragement for Coach Prime. And he said that, Coach Prime is, so steadfast and strong. That's why the team, plays like they do. We don't give up, right? We don't give up when we fall behind, etc. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Georgia Tech had kind words for Coach Prime. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. We're going to move on to the next one. All right. If you're just not joining us, we were watching Georgia Tech, who had kind words. The head coach had kind words for Coach Prime. So we're going to move on to the next one. All right. This one I like a lot because Coach Prime is doing what?
I missed it. I love every darn minute of it. You should be proud of yourself. What's Swayze? Right here. Proud of you, dog. When they get to that ball, they move. That's a direct result of everybody, entire strength and conditioning team.
So Coach Prime was
playing with passion and intensity. I love every minute of it.
Shout out to Coach Swayze.
Every darn minute of it. You should be proud of yourself. What's Swayze? Right here. Proud of you, dog. When they get to that ball, they move. That's a direct result of everybody, entire strength and conditioning team.
All right. So Coach Prime was just congratulating Coach Swayze on the strength and conditioning team. Did y'all see Charlie today? Did y'all see how Charlie looked today? Charlie looked like a walking poster for Coach Swayze with all of the muscles that he has, right? When I saw Charlie Offerdall, who's retiring from CU, dude, he was battling concussion, so he felt like it was just best to step away. And I think, he made the right choice because, your health is important. So, but when he was standing up there talking, I was looking at how in shape he was. I was like, Miami messed up letting Coach Swayze go, but I'm glad they did because he came over to CU and our guys look great. So what you see is Coach Prime actually just congratulating Swayze in front of the entire team. And he deserves it. I said he should trademark Body by Swayze because the guys are in shape. That's why I said year 3, we going up. And these are the things when they say we're going to be ranked 11th or that CU isn't going to do well because we lost all of our weapons. They're not even thinking about the shape these players are in. And the players likely suffered because they were not in as good of shape. They talked about Travis, how in shape he looks, right? He didn't have the opportunity to work out under conditioning with Coach Swayze, but he is with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He looks great. So we truly benefited from the change in conditioning. Coach Prime was just out there, basically recognizing Coach Swayze for the good work. So let me know y'all's thoughts about that. I think the condition is going to make a big difference. That could have been one of the problems with the O-line. They just were not in good shape. The D-line, they just were not in good shape, right? We know their endurance is up. We know they can deal with the altitude, but they're more muscular too. They're more in shape. So, all right. I'm just looking for y'all's comments. So we just head on over to the next one. So we're 31 days from Georgia Tech fall camp. Yesterday they went swimming. They had an outing together. They had their first practice. They did really well. Caleb posted, "Have no fear. Coach Prime and the Buffs are back." So, they didn't want people, worrying. They still intact. Just like he protected his kids, he protected the team. He didn't want people worrying about, what was going to happen. And that could have been what Coach Prime was talking about too. When we looked at the last clip, when he was in the hospital, he was sitting outside and he was talking and he was saying somebody was saying something about him or whatever. And how could you believe it? It could have been because so many people were saying he was going to leave. That could be what people were spreading rumors about. And he was like, how are you going to believe somebody else that you just met, but you've been knowing me since 85? I'm not going anywhere. So that could have been what he was talking about too. All right. Next up, we have, all right. So we have somebody on campus that is fueling we have somebody on campus that is fueling some dialogue, believing that change might be near. And it's interesting to me because I remember Coach Prime saying that he didn't know, he was hoping Byron Leftwich would show up and do the right thing. Now, I remember when he said that. I didn't exactly know what it was he was talking about. I knew Byron Leftwich was supposed to come to see you. I don't know if he officially on the staff. He's an offensive analyst. People on X are saying maybe Pat Schumer's seat is warm or getting cold because they can't see Byron Leftwich coming just as an analyst. You let me know your thoughts about that because this is important. So Byron Leftwich is there and he is coaching up Juju. Now, I, for the life of me, don't understand why he's coaching up Juju, but not Cadence. Can somebody tell me what's going on there? Because I don't get it why he just wouldn't be coaching up both of them. So somebody needs to let me know. I'm waiting on y'all to tell me because I don't get it. Let me hit play. Now y'all see right here, number 20. To the right of number 20 is Caden Salter. Maybe he don't need no coaching. I don't know. But Juju, a freshman, number 10 right here with Byron Leftwich to his right, is being coached up by Juju. Now that's just a little strange to me because why wouldn't he just coach both of them? I don't understand it. Was this something about Juju's condition on coming to see you? I'm not understanding this. I think it's weird. I'm just gonna go and say it. I just think it's weird. We have 5 quarterbacks, but he's coaching up the second one, and maybe he has more upside. Maybe Juju wanted it, and maybe Kaden didn't. I need y'all to kind of help steer this conversation because I'm not understanding what's happening here. Okay, see, that's Caden. That's Caden. That's excellent. That's excellent. So I don't know. That's Byron Leftwich in the right. I think he's coaching both of them. I saw him talking to Salter. Okay, because thank you, because I didn't get it. Was that a touchdown? Does anybody know if that was a touchdown? Hold up. I'm gonna move myself to the bottom so y'all can see. That was Omarion. So Caden just threw what appears to be a touchdown to Omarion. Leftwich is giving him some tips. Is he on the staff at CU? I think that was a touchdown. Okay, I think that was a touchdown to Omarion. So what y'all are saying is Byron Leftwich is giving tips to Juju and likely Caden, but Caden was actually in an active throwing scenario. So he's hanging back and he's showing Juju different things. And Caden actually threw a touchdown to Omarion. That's what I noticed. So he's an offensive analyst. So that means he's on the staff at CU. He's not just visiting for today. He's not just coaching up Juju. He's now with the team. That's what I'm getting. He's coaching up all of our quarterbacks. And at the moment, he was just coaching up. He was talking to Juju. Okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like, okay. But the part that people are talking about, is Pat Schumer. Do y'all think that Pat Schumer is leaving? Do y'all think that whether it's maybe Pat Schumer's still here this year and Byron Leftwich takes over next year? Let me know y'all's thoughts about that, because that is the conversation on X, that they don't think he's just going to stay an analyst. Tina said that was a touchdown. He may be the quarterback coach to help out. Okay. All right. It said, yes, he is on the staff. Coach introduced him to the team. Okay, so he's with the team. So he helping everybody. Okay, got it. All right. Clarity is a wonderful thing. It's a gift, actually. So thank you. Now I understand. He works for us. He's not just here for the day. He's not just visiting. They don't know if he's going to take over Pat Schumer's job or not. But he is maybe a quarterback coach or an offensive analyst to help the quarterbacks, all of them. Love it. Okay. All right. So that's perfect. So let's move on now that I understand there. So we got a good coaching staff. We have some really, really good coaching staff, right? If we have him, because everybody said he's good. I think, was he the coach at Tampa Bay when Tom Brady was there? Is that what it was? Looks like he's teaching Juju to read the defense. Okay. Well, we're going to be good. We're going to be really good. When they did their team meeting, I looked at who was sitting next to Pat Schumer. I wanted to see. So Ponder, remember I told y'all when they first had like their first few meetings, Juju sat in Shadour's seat, and I don't know where he sat today. He sat in Shadour's seat, and then Caden sat next to Pat Schumer, because Schumer sits to the side. So today when I saw it, Ponder, the other quarterback that people want to make sure we get in the conversation, I need to learn more about him. Ponder was sitting next to Schumer, and Caden was sitting behind him. So basically, Caden and Ponder are sitting next to the OC, and I didn't see where Juju was sitting. So that means Ponder and Juju will likely be there next. Caden taking a back seat, letting Ponder sit next to Schumer because he on the way out the door. Okay, then Byron Leftwich helping out. I think that's good. I predicted Caden will be a top 5 quarterback before the season ends. They have him top 15. They undervalued him. I say top 5. Let me know your thoughts. And I don't even know if there's a competition, but Caden is my QB1. So let me know y'all's thoughts there too. All right, on to the next topic. We just rocking and rolling here. On to the next topic. Okay, this is gonna be Caden Salter, which y'all just saw it, but from a different angle. Throwing it was a touchdown to Marion Miller for 6. So we're gonna look at it anyway because it's from a different angle, and it proves that this young man is him. He's him. So just give me a second. Okay. All right. So there we go. All right. So this is a different angle of Caden Salter throwing. Let me make it large on the screen, make myself smaller. Caden Salter throwing the ball to Marion Miller for a touchdown. So I've seen Caden throw touchdowns to JoJo, but on a different day. JoJo, Isaiah Harge, now Omarion Miller, and Gibson, but they were not at CU. This was before fall camp started. So Caden is comfortable with all of the pretty much the starter receivers, I guess. I haven't seen Draylon Miller. Let's see who's in this photo. Let's see who we can. That's Caden. That's O. I don't know who number 5 was that was covering him. Who's number 5 that was covering Omarion? Does anybody know? And then let's see who's on the field. Black is defense. Oh, that's Draymond Miller right there, number 6. White is offense. Okay. Who's on the field? Draylon Miller, 85. Is 85 Atkins the tight end? He's good. He's good. Omarion is number 4. So that's Draylon, 3 receivers. Well, tight end and Draylon and Omarion Miller. Okay, I guess that's 2 receivers and a tight end. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, I don't know the guys on the DB side. Let's see who we have. We have 23 Omarion Stoudemire, right? 4, I don't know who 4 is on defense. 37, nah, don't know who that is. Who else? 4, 23, 37. 23 is the only one I know. Oh, Marianne Stoudemire. 7, I think DJ McKinney wears 8, so I don't know who number 7 is. And I don't know 5. 5, 7, 37, and 23, and 4. All right, so let me know if y'all know who these guys are. We have a lot of new DBs. We have a lot of new defensive backs. We do. So I don't know these guys. All right, I'm gonna move on to my next one. I got 3 more to go. Okay, this is Julian Lewis throwing I think he's throwing a touchdown maybe to somebody. Yep. Hold on. All right, I'm trying to see if y'all can see. Let's see. I'm trying to see if y'all can see. All right, that's what I was trying to see. If y'all can see this one. All right, there we go. Okay. This is Juju to JoJo. Yep. JoJo's number 8 on offense. 3 and 13. I'm trying to learn the people in the black for defense, but I don't know who 3 is. 3 used to be close to Hood. Let me look at that again. All right, there we go. I had to stop it. Okay, so definitely a touchdown. That's JoJo. Look at his vertical. And he kind of was open. He kind of didn't have nobody on him. So it's uncontested, but you know, it's good. Somebody was coming for him. So I don't know how Colorado, like if they do A team, B team, it looked like they just mix it up. I don't know who's who. But I think people said number 8 in the white, JoJo will be a starter. So I think they all are just out there together. And that's from Juju, by the way. That's not Cleveland. That's yeah, he does look good. Now, I think they said they felt like Juju is more of a pocket passer than Caden. Supposedly, Caden is more of the dual threat, and Juju is more of Shador, more of a pocket passer. Let me see if I can see him throw again. Let me see what y'all are saying about it. It says K-Salt will be in the Heisman conversation, in my opinion. I agree. I give him top 5, so I'll go with that, Jerry. I definitely go with that. I believe that. Draylon plays running back and wide receiver. Oh, he plays both. So between Caden's legs, Draylon Miller, we still have Michael Welch, right? And then we still have Dallin Hayden. Wow. Okay. We're gonna have a serious run game for sure. Because we know Draylon is tough. I mean, he is. Byron Leftwich used to be the starting QB for the Jags. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I don't know much about him. Okay, thank you for that. The Watchman. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It said the white is the starting offense. Okay. And who is the black? Is that the starting defense? I don't see DJ McKinney, so I'm not thinking. Let me know who the black is. But good to know. So let's watch this again, knowing the white is the starting offense. If somebody could tell us who the defense is in the black, team 2, starting, whatever, any information we'll take. Let me watch this again. Okay. Now that I have some context, I can kind of look at this. Let's see. I'm trying to see Juju in the middle, so I'm gonna stop it. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so there's Juju. He's still in the pocket. Okay, all right, okay. He looked like he just launched that missile. Okay, all right. Does anybody know how tall Juju is? I mean, he's still growing. He only 17. So I'm just asking for reference at this point because he likely gonna grow because he got a whole year before he hit 18. So he gonna make another summer first. So what do y'all think? Juju is a pocket passer, like more of a pocket passer. I'm sure he's mobile too. Like Shador, and Caden is a dual threat, a true dual threat. It said not sure if this is the starting defense or not. Okay, but the White is definitely the starting offense. Not sure about the defense. I didn't see DJ McKinney out there. I don't think I saw Preston Hodge in this clip. We saw Preston Hodge when Caden was throwing. So does that mean something? Does that mean I didn't see DJ McKinney either way though? So I'm like, what does it mean? I don't think it means anything. I don't think it means anything. I think it would be too easy to figure things out if it did. So, okay, we're not going to hypothesize about that. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is, we talked about this already. This Byron Leftwich, coaching up Juju, but we already talked about that. Let's see, maybe I had something else. Oh, yep, here it goes. All right. This is actually Coach Prime.
I think we ended that the little step right off this thing, we're going to go to another level. You guys should thank him, you should be blessed. This guy knows what he's doing, and he's going to be a big part of our success. Already know that. So let's welcome Coach Leftwich.
So he's welcoming Coach Leftwich. I want to hear this again because I feel like I didn't hear it from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. And he's blessed with us today. He's going to quarterbacks, he's going to do what he does. He has a wealth of knowledge. I think with him, it's bad and the little step right off this thing, he's going to go to another level. You guys should thank him. You should be blessed. This guy knows what he's doing, and he's going to be a big part of our success. Already know that. So let's welcome Coach Leftwich. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Coach Byron Leftwich is now a part of CU's offense. He's gonna be successful as a part of our offense. So we get it. He's gonna be there. I don't know if people saw this coming today or not. All I remember is Coach Prime was saying that he was hoping Byron Leftwich does the right thing. Well, he did. He showed up. So he's joining the staff. Maybe he was holding out for an NFL gig, but it's getting late. So he just said, hey, he'll join CU, right? Does anybody know what his last job was in the NFL? It's a mix of multiple rounds, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then that helps. It said they have potential starting unit. They have a potential starting unit, but we don't know yet. Okay. Farewell to Charlie. Yes. Charlie said goodbye. Due to concussions he was battling, he didn't want to risk it. He should not, especially if he didn't expect to play football on the pro level, regardless of what league it was, Canada, the US, it didn't matter. Why risk that, right? So I'm proud of him. He looks great. They still paying his tuition. Actually, he still has a scholarship. So that sounds like room and board to me. Or whatever they was paying for, they're going to keep paying for. And Coach Prime said he was going to find somebody to bless him to pay his dental school tuition. So if that happens, just amazing. Just amazing. It said he was an offensive coordinator for Tampa. Oh, okay. He wasn't the head coach. He was the OC. Okay. All right. Okay. So he was with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now, I don't know how long ago this was. Was the same head coach that's in Tampa now his boss? Was he the OC for Todd Bowles? I'm just asking. And was Tom Brady there? When did all this happen? So I guess that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. So okay, it is good to know. Okay, so we know Coach Swayze's been recognized. We know Byron Leftwich has officially joined the staff as an offensive analyst, which means he'll be working out with the quarterbacks. He doesn't have the label quarterback coach. Does anybody remember when Pat Schumer was an offensive analyst? Does anybody remember that? Because I remember that. Remember when, okay, I want y'all to think. Remember when the Lewis guy was on his way out and they had kind of demoted him, soft demotion? Does anybody remember Pat Schumer coming on as an offensive analyst and then the Lewis guy left and then Schumer became the offensive coordinator? So now Byron Leftwich is the offensive analyst. Pat Schumer possibly on the way out. Byron Leftwich becomes the OC next year. Y'all want to talk about it? Am I seeing it incorrectly? Is this a novel I'm reading? But isn't that how it went when the Lewis guy had to go? It said Byron Leftwich was a great QB in college and the pros. Undrafted to offensive coordinator with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Okay. It said he was the OC when Brady was there, and Brady won a won a Super Bowl with Tampa. Okay. Tom Brady was the QB. Okay. He was the QB coach for Tampa Bay Super Bowl. So now he's coming with us and he won a Super Bowl. Awesome. Wow. I think that's about 200 years of NFL experience between all of them. Coach Prime was saying if Leftwich joins, and he did show up. Bowles has been a head coach for years. Oh, okay. Okay. So Bowles is not new to Tampa. Okay. So he was there at the same time. He coached Brady. Excellent. Excellent. Lewis left for cheese and some snake stuff. I think he was sent packaged. I really feel like they found him a new job. That's just me. I always thought that. I said, I think they found him another job. He just might not know it, or he knew, but they couldn't fire him because they were going to still have to pay his contract. So I think they found him somewhere to go. How's he doing down there, by the way? Schumer want to go back to the league. Is that what it is? Okay. All right. I thought he was going to retire. I know one thing. I want to see some exciting play calling. I want to see some trick plays because we can't be out here with this vanilla stuff. We got to throw people off their game. Having 5 quarterbacks is not enough. We need to utilize Draylon and make them think something else. So we need to do something with the play calling. It got a little spicy in the Baylor game after Shador was sacked 8 times. It was a little bit too late, in my opinion. But they did switch it up when they saw things weren't working, but it shouldn't take 8 sacks to figure out who's the person not working on their coverages on the O-line. I could see it from my house. Possibly a change is coming. Yeah, I think one is. Because if I'm not mistaken, Lewis was on, there was friction issues. Lewis on the way out. Pat Schumer was the offensive analyst. Now, Schumer's the OC. Now, Leftwich is the offensive analyst. Do you see the pattern? Next, the offensive coordinator. Next year, I'm going to book it. People have always complained they think Pat Schumer's play calling is too vanilla. And something about the draft. Something about the draft. Let me know if y'all remember what it was. All right, so that's that, right? That's that. I got another one. Let's see what the other one is. Okay, this is the other one. This is about the defense, the defensive coordinator. These are the defense by the numbers last year. It's a burner account for the Big 12, which is insane in my opinion. But I wanted to share this so that we could talk about the numbers and what the defense actually looked like last year. All right, so let me share this tab. All right. Okay, so as you could see, it says it right here. It said last year against FBS opponents, Colorado ranked, let's get this. This is supposed to be the defense. Second in takeaways per game. I'm waiting to see if y'all can see the screen too. Let's see if y'all can see it. Okay, yeah. Hold on. Let me make myself smaller. Okay, here we go. Okay. Last year against FBS opponents, Colorado ranked second in takeaways per game. 2.3. So second in FBS. All of FBS, right? I'm assuming all of FBS. Let me know. It said against FBS opponents, Colorado ranked second in takeaways per game, 2.3. Sixth in the country. So this is everybody in FBS. Sixth in the country in opponent red zone, touchdown, field goal conversion rate, 71%. I believe that because at one point we were number one. The red zone defense for Colorado was they weren't playing. They were not playing. 7th in sack percentage. That's surprising. Now it's good in all of FBS, but What is that? 9.1%? Oh, okay. And then 8th in sacks per game, 3.1. And then 9th in second half defense, 8.8. That wasn't bad. Nine in second half defense is not bad in all of FBS. It said, and then we were, what was this? Hold on, I gotta see. We were 13th in opponent completion percentage. Now, what does that mean? What exactly does that mean? And it says, I cannot wait for year 2 under Robert Livingston. Okay, let's talk about these numbers. Last year, the best we were was the second in takeaways per game, 2.3. Okay. That's good. That's good. Let me see what y'all talking about. I want to see what y'all think about these numbers. 13th in opponent completion percentage, 56%. I don't know what that stat means. I'd have to look into that one. Opponent completion percentage. I'm not sure what that means. Let me see what y'all saying. Tina said possibly a change is coming. Okay. It said Leftwich was the OC when the Bucks won Super Bowl with Brady from 2019 to 2022. Oh, okay. I think they will be creative. I agree with Coach Prime. This is a better team. It is. It really is. It's a better team around. See, before we relied heavily Shador and Travis, right? But now everybody, we have a lot of stars. We got 2 good quarterbacks, possibly 3. Ponder seems to be making his way to the front. I didn't see Ryan Staub yet, but that's not saying much. I don't watch him every day just yet. I will be watching now that they're at camp because they're gonna put out the content. It said, I think this is a backup plan. I think for Leftwich, which I don't like. Somebody don't like Leftwich. It said, which I don't like because if he does well this year, he'll possibly get an NFL gig and will be in search of a new OC for Juju first year starter. I don't think the NFL is offering Byron Leftwich a job. Maybe Pat Schumer, but not Byron Leftwich. How long has it been since he was in the NFL? What was his last NFL job? Tampa Bay in 2022? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. See, here's the thing about OC jobs. OC positions in the NFL lead to head coaching. Was he ever a head coach in the NFL? If you pay attention to the NFL, a lot of the OCs are not black. It's no different than a quarterback because the OC position and executive position, the next step is head coach. Think about Philadelphia's head coach that just went to the Saints. Now, typically, the defensive back position, the defensive coordinator position does not always lead to head coaching, but it did for Aaron Glenn. So the Jets, whom he played for, have a relationship with. They seem to either respect and or fear him. I'm not sure which one it is yet, but I'm listening to them talk about the Jets every day. But when Justin Fields went to the Jets, they were like, well, Aaron Glenn is on a short leash, and so is Justin Fields. And that's supposed to be where Shador is supposed to be going, or somebody from the Browns. But I'm going to just take a wild guess and say Shador. One thing I know about Aaron Glenn's hiring, it was part of the Mooney rule where some team, if he got hired, somebody got some draft picks, something like that. So this could be one of those things. Maybe he's in a good organization because he knows the people, because he played there. They respect him. Maybe the Jets are the team where the owner has independent thinking, because remember, the owners are incestuously close. They do everything together, including what? That starts with a C, right? And it's not compete. So if one does it, they all do it. If one don't do it, then the rest of them don't do it either, right? So that's how they made it this far. So I will say this. If Byron Leftwich has not been in the NFL since 2022 and he was an OC, they likely fired him so he don't get to the next part about a head coach. Because y'all say he won a Super Bowl, right? Yeah, they cut his legs off. They're not going to hire him, so he good. Pat Schumer might get there. It wouldn't surprise me. I think they said, I ain't gonna say it. Anyway, let's see. Second half was because of Hilo and Livingston adjusting. We still have Hilo, right? Where is he? What is he doing? I think they said we had to elevate him or we was going to lose him. It said the Cleveland coach Stefanski said he talks to Schumer a lot. Interesting. Well, that kind of speaks to what I didn't want to say. So Shedeur Sanders don't know Stefanski's offense. He can't read the playbook, but Stefanski is reported to have lifted right up off of Pat Schumer's desk. See, that's how you know. That's how you know. And it was said. It was said that Pat Schumer was asked about Shedeur, and his comparison to Shedeur was Daniel Jones. I can't see how that was a good thing, if that's true. And I do remember Andrew Berry in the video we played today. It refreshed my memory. He said, you know, we talked to the people that's been around them for a few years. They talked to Schumer because of Stefanski. And did they ask about Shedeur? And that's where Daniel Jones come from? Interesting. Okay. So there you go. The Cleveland coach Stefanski said he talks to Schumer a lot. Interesting. Well, you would think with all the pre-drafting with Shedeur extensively, I told y'all we was gonna get back to Shedeur. With all the pre-drafting with Shedeur extensively, with the connection between Schumer and Stefanski, why in the hell would Stefanski be holding back Shedeur if he know Pat Schumer? And is that who he told? He's like Daniel Jones, or did he tell that to the New York Giants? Somebody at CU was accused of saying something. That's all I'm gonna say. And it don't even make sense for Stefanski to hold back Shedeur, knowing he knows Schumer, and saying he don't know the playbook when it's Schumer's playbook, because people have accused him of that, basically copy and pasted the same offense, the same playbook. So again, their treatment of Shedeur is not making any sense. It goes against everything. It goes against the grain. He's a good QB. You bench him. He played in the same offense that you use because his OC is where you got your playbook from. Is it making sense yet? No. So we might be getting ready to connect the dots from CU to Cleveland. And maybe it explains why we got Byron Leftwich as the offensive analyst, because that is the next step, OC. So it didn't work out in the NFL for him, so he's at CU, and Schumer ends up in the NFL, maybe on Stefanski's staff. Interesting. The percentage of passes completed by other teams. Okay. The percentage of passes completed by other teams. So that's what that was. That's what that was. Interesting. (13th) in opponent completion percentage. The percentage of passes completed by other teams. Okay. 56. Okay. Okay. All right. So people still like Livingston and waiting to see what he gonna do. It's gonna be year 2 for him. Everybody seems to like him. So you know, he's the defensive coordinator. I ain't sure about the offensive coordinator. Ty Bowles was also the defensive coordinator for Bruce Arians with Tampa. Okay, so he was there on the ground and they elevated him to head coach. Okay, that's another one. Another black DC headed to head elevated. Okay, let's see how much longer he there. I think they say they started the season with 6 black head coaches, and they ended it with 6 and started it with 4. One thing about Bowles, he knows how to answer their questions, and I think they're a little scared of him too. Hilo is defensive ends coach. He's not upstairs anymore. Okay, all right. So he's the defensive end coach. Okay. They put the blame on Byron Leftwich for Tom Brady failing and having one of the worst seasons they ever had. Really? Oh, wow. And what happened to Tom Brady after that? Hey, the Egyptian Queen, welcome. What happened to Byron Leftwich after they blamed him for Brady? What happened to Brady? Did he go to another team? Did he retire? What happened to Brady after Tampa? I'm not going to pretend to know. let me know, Willie, what happened to Brady after that season in Tampa. Did they fire Byron Leftwich? Was that the 22 y'all were talking about? Hey, Egyptian Queen. It said 12 said they have the same plays at Colorado. So that's how you know. All of that talk about Shadua not picking up the playbook was absolutely false. All of that, making him do it over and over and over because he made glaring mistakes, is also a lie. Again, I told y'all before, cameras. If cameras can't see what's going on, they gonna lie. They only can lie about what we can't see. We're not right there on the field to know if there were glaring mistakes. His numbers doesn't show glaring mistakes. It doesn't. If he has an incompletion, what was he, 7 or 10? And who knows why they were incomplete? One could have been him, two could have been somebody else. It happens. So what I'm saying is, there is no reason for Stefanski to treat Shadua like this with Pat Schumer's plays. That meant that's why they were looking at Shadua as the number 2 pick, because he would have fit in unison with their offense that they were planning to run. And you know something switched, because what did Pat Schumer say on the draft call? I told you God works in mysterious ways, but then look at how he's treating him now. You're not going to be able to convince me or a jury that you are treating him this way because he got speeding tickets when you have 2 players with domestic violence and you say nothing. The call is coming from upstairs, the owner. You could bet the farm on that. They ought to feel like snakes. It's not like they didn't pre-draft with him extensively. Pat Schumer said that during a press conference at CU. Oh, really? Interesting. That's interesting to me. That they would act like that. That means they know who Shadua is through and through. That means he's going to fit through and through. But look at how they're treating him. And it's not no speeding tickets. It's definitely not speeding tickets, because before he got the speeding tickets, they were treating him that way. It's the draft. It's the owners. That's why if Shadua gets put on waivers, it completes the plot. Giving out his phone number to 2,000 people that did not need to know. It was used in a humiliation prank on camera, exposed with connection to the New York Giants, the only team to defame him. They said it was the Atlanta Falcons, who his father played for, but I think that whole ruse is a lie. It's rumored to be the caller was actually the boyfriend, the supposed boyfriend of the daughter of the GM of the same team, the only team that defamed him, the Giants. Interesting. And now he's in Cleveland, a team that was looking for him to be number 2 with the same offense he played in college. And they holding him back on the depth chart. They burying him on the depth chart. That's the term. After the owners took him off the board. It's the owners. It's the owners. This proves it. This proves they're intentionally holding him back, despite how good he is, despite he fits their offense, despite pre-draft. It proves it's the owners. That's why the team he goes to, when they put him on waivers, that's the last thing. The phone number was used in the prank. Waivers was attached in the email. If they put him on waivers, that's the last part of the prank that's supposed to humiliate him. It's not. It's going to set him free. Let's see where he end up. Is that Dion? Is that who Dion was talking about at the hospital? What do you mean? What do you mean, Pat? Oh, when we were talking about, who was Coach Prime talking about? What do you mean? Is that who Dion was talking about? Who's the dad? Who's the person you're referencing? Pat Schumer. Oh, the next one. Let's see. What did he say? He said, how you be careful what you say about a person, because you never be careful how you judge a person, because you never know what they going through. You've been knowing me since 85, Florida State. I don't know. Has he been knowing Pat Schumer that long? Did they play ball together or something like that? Go to the same school? And then you let somebody who just pop up in your life tell you Jimmy Haslam? Because that Haslam know Coach Prime. Interesting. No, because Haslam wasn't the owner. Haslam hadn't been the owner the whole time. That's interesting. He said, you let somebody just pop up in your life and tell you something about me. You've been knowing me since 85, like a family member. Mm-mm. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. But we gonna see how that go. Willie say he retired. Brady retired and Byron got fired. There you go. There you go. There you go. He's not going back to the NFL. He might want to, but they not. And look at what they doing to the quarterbacks. No, they're not bringing no more blackhead OCs in. Not right now. Not right now. Ty Bowles and Aaron Glenn, both black head coaches, were defensive coordinators. I do believe that's what y'all are saying. I know Aaron Glenn was. And his job, honestly, it had everything to do with the Rooney Rule, but I want you to see how they treat him. Again, he's with the Jets. He knows them, played for them. I don't know. These owners, somebody got to step away from the circle of collusion. Brady retired. I bet he did. Still up. Glass of Pinot. Okay. Same playbook, different terminology. What you mean when you say terminology? What's different? Give me an example. At CU, it will be called what? And Cleveland, it will be called what? Let me know. I need the example. Thank you. Dion already said that Robert Livingston is gone after this season. The Saints tried to steal him this season, but Livingston said he wanted to dance with the person he took him to the prom. Okay. But didn't Livingston just get a long-term contract from CU for like $1 million, which is the highest paid defensive coordinator in CU history? Let me know. But he probably gone anyway because they're going to buy it out. So I could see it. And I could see people ganging up on Coach Prime to take away his staff. We talked about that. But it could be Robert Livingston, but it probably ain't going to be, not with their mindset. It's not going to be Byron Leftwich. Pat Schumer compared Shador to Daniel Jones at CU press conference. Oh, Lord. Oh, why was he his coach? I'm like, why would he make that comparison? That is not a good comparison. No, he was not talking about Schumer. Yeah, okay. So Coach Prime was not talking about Schumer because I don't think they played together like that. It's somebody he been knowing, basically. Somebody on that level. I mean, from 85, that's a long time. D'Amico Ryans was the DC in San Francisco before he took the job in Houston. Well, there you go. Another defensive coordinator. Another DC. How did they not hit? How many black OCs? Oh, I forgot. That's right. The quarterback position is the thinking man's position. So in order to have an offensive coordinator to work with the thinking man, he probably needs to be, there you go. That's why you're seeing all these DCs. Yep. That's why they fired Byron Leftwich, because you were supposed to be working with the quarterback, blah, 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 blah. I want to know how many black offensive coordinators there are in the NFL right this moment. Let me ask. Because this is interesting. Did Pat Schumer coach Daniel Jones? Because why would he use that comparison? Daniel Jones is absolutely horrible. Was there anything good to come out of that comparison? Can somebody let me know? How many black offensive coordinators are there in the NFL currently? There are 0. No black offensive coordinators in the NFL. One offensive coordinator, the Giants, Mike Kafka, is part Puerto Rican and attended the NFL's minority-focused accelerator program. There's been a historic challenge when it comes to black coaches in the offensive coordinator position. Well, there you go. Now you know why Byron Leftwich don't have a job. Now you know why, if you make it as a head coach, you're going to be a defensive coordinator, because of the NFL's philosophy, their practices, their policies about quarterback being a thinking man's position. Therefore, not black quarterbacks, not black OCs. And if you get the job, you come in by the way of defensive coordinator. Look at the trouble they go through. 0 black docs or head coaches. What you saying, AV3? What, can you clarify that? The last one I remember was Eric Bieniemy as an OC. And I heard his name mentioned at CU one time. When Coach Prime first got there, people thought he was coming over. I'm just glad we got Byron Leftwich. I really don't know. Schumer might be on his way out. I don't know if the Daniel Jones comment was good or bad. I don't know why you would say that, because Daniel Jones don't have a reputation that's really good, but maybe he know him from Pee Wee football. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Willie said D'Amico Ryans was a DC in San Francisco before he took the head coaching job. You said yes. Okay. AV3, if you can clean that up, let me know. So there you go. No black offensive coordinators. Started the season with, I think, with 6 black head coaches. Now have 4. Let me guess, 2 gonna be missing next year. If I don't want black offensive coordinators, do I really want black quarterbacks? No. Not as starters. So what happens? How many days do we have until August 8th? That's when the preseason game starts. So I know it's 31 days until CU starts. It's 31 days until CU plays Georgia Tech, and it's probably about 12 days, 10 days, 12 days, 11 days until the preseason game between the Panthers and the Browns. There's no black OCs, right, that are head coaches. There's no black OCs, right? There are no black OCs right now. None. 0. So that tell you how they feel about black quarterbacks. There are no black offensive coordinators in the NFL currently. That's facts. The Rooney Rule founders agreed with Goodell, but point to the shortage. I'll read that later. Yep. Eric was head coach of the Raiders last year. I thought the Raiders head coach was Antonio Pierce. Wasn't he the head coach of the Raiders last year before they fired him? Before Tom Brady came on board, or right after Tom Brady came on board, they fired him and got Pete Carroll, Antonio Pierce from Arizona State. Was he the offensive coordinator when Herm Edwards was the head coach at Arizona State? I thought he was the head coach last year and they fired him. That's what I remember. I didn't remember him being with the Raiders. I thought he was, Antonio Pierce was the head coach. Patrick, let me know. Claire, clean that one up. So I knew they fired Antonio Pierce. That was one of the coaches they fired. Then I thought the Patriots had somebody. They fired somebody. That's the 2 right there that they let go. So next year is probably going to be 2 less. Yes, Antonio Pierce was the head coach with the Raiders. Right. Then they fired him and hired Pete Carroll. I watched a little bit of the controversy. Derek Carr was problematic. He got sent to the Saints. But then Devontae Adams wanted out. They had some women who were somehow high up, which wasn't typical. It was a black lady. And I remember Antonio Pierce saying something about the players were making business decisions. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a hot mess. But they were one of the first organizations to have like a woman be some high up executives. Yeah. And I thought maybe that's why they was making business decisions on the field. And then Derek Carr got out and Devontae Adams wanted out. Then they fired Pierce after Coach Prime said, "Can you draft my sons?" I was like, then Pete Carroll came in and got Geno Smith. So I said they're going to make sure the next Geno Smith and trade him every year, because that's what they do before they get rid of you. Patrick, Coach Hayes chat is very antagonistic, aren't they? Oh, I don't know who that is. Hey, how you doing, Val? Val, welcome back, Val. So we were just over here talking about CU, the defense, the offense, 2-3 quarterbacks. The biggest change from today, I want to see if we hear any talk across the different airwaves about Byron Leftwich joining CU. Somebody still need to start their own league. I don't think it's going to be Coach Prime. Not right now. By proxy, maybe, but I think that might be too much right now. Hey, Chat Queen T. Yep, we still up. We're just talking about CU. The biggest change today, Byron Leftwich joined the staff. He was introduced to the team as a analyst. And then I remembered when Pat Schumer joined us after the Lewis guy was on his way out. Pat Schumer was the analyst. So we were wondering if change is coming because If Pat Schumer was the offensive analyst when Lewis was on the way out, then Schumer became the offensive coordinator. Now we have Byron Leftwich as the offensive analyst. Does that mean Pat Schumer on his way out? And then we were discussing connecting the dots between Pat Schumer and Shedeur Sanders head coach Kevin Stefanski, because it had already been discussed that Stefanski basically copied and pasted Pat Schumer's plays, which are the same, type of play calling plays, different terminology that Shedeur had at CU. And it proves that it made sense for the Browns to pre-draft with Shedeur extensively, because he was literally plug and play, learning new terminology, because Pat Schumer was his OC, who talks to Kevin Stefanski, who has his playbook frequently. So we don't know where the mess up came up at. We know that the owners pivoted away. So I say again, it proves that on the ground, maybe between Schumer and Stefanski and Barry, they were all working to get Shedeur to Cleveland, and the all 32 owners who are incestuously close vetoed it because of 17-32. We just confirmed there are absolutely no black offensive coordinators. And I said that's because they don't want that path to easily go to head coaching. They are supposed to work with the quarterback. You know what they think about the black quarterback. So no offensive coordinators tell you what they think about. If I don't have no black OCs, I ain't happy about having all these black quarterbacks. So 17-32 is the owner's doing. Andrew Berry, that's above his pay grade. And I think he got stopped at his tracks when he was working to get Shedeur, which is why he looked so frustrated when he had to get him. Because I was already doing that. You threw me under the bus, and now I got to jump through hoops to get him, which is making a mess. And now you're throwing me under a bus again. Andrew Berry might want to decide for himself. He might want to choose himself for once. So it just proves this is the owner's doing. It's the owner the reasons why there's no black OCs. The owner's the reason why all these musical chairs and stacking of black quarterbacks are happening. The owners have their own agenda. Nobody else is running these teams but the owners. Jerry Jones is proof of that. That's why he the owner and the GM. He was the OC of Washington. I'm sorry. Who are we talking about? It would be great if Shedeur got traded to Jacksonville. Byron Leftwich became Jacksonville OC because he used to be the QB there. Coach Prime head coach. Oh, okay. Well, there was talk about that. There was talk of that. Remember Pac-Man Jones? There was talk of that. There was talk. It still is, could happen. Just not right now. I think the whole point of the doctors being at the press conference was to assure people that Coach Prime is good going forward. That the route that he took, having the bladder removed, basically gave him time to commit to the program. You can see he's back. He's vibrant. So I think that, it means he's going to be around, and he might be around football long enough to do what? He might be around football long enough to go to Jacksonville like Pac-Man Jones said he would somewhere down the line, saying that they had to get somebody to get what's his name's contract, the guy with the big fat contract till 2030 with no trade clause. Trevor Lawrence. Somebody got to be able to absorb his contract. I'm sure somebody gonna have to be able to absorb Deshaun Watson contract too, because they still owe him $46 million this year and next year. Now insurance is paying his salary this year, which is why he's not coming back. So what y'all think gonna happen next year? You think they're gonna try to unload Deshaun Watson $46 million payout to another team, or you think he's gonna be right there and then he's out of the league? Let me know your thoughts. See, I don't think any team could get Deshaun Watson either. I don't think it's a coincidence he ended up in Cleveland. The way Cleveland does quarterbacks, he was probably sent there as punishment. Shedeur Sanders too. They're going to lay all this on Andrew Berry's feet. Yes, they are. I hope he's ready. Colin Cowherd is helping. Hope he's comfortable being the foul guy. And they are going to make Stefanski the hero. Yep. When we watched that video today, what did I say? Did y'all see how Stefanski basically cut Barry off and threw him under the bus. I went back and watched that video to make sure it wasn't cut. It wasn't cut. Barry playing himself. See, sometimes people think they're accepted by people. With certain people, you're only good to them if they can use you against your own people. That's just facts. That's called a useful idiot. Benin was the OC in Washington. Okay. Yeah, I knew I remembered his name. When Coach Prime first got to CU, they thought he was coming. Did he get fired too? What happened to Eric Bieniemy? Did he end up at UCLA or something like that? The name sounds familiar. Haslam said today, when he gets healthy, he'll be playing again. Who? Kenny Pickett? Let me know who we talking about. The OC at Washington. Did he get fired or did he retire? What happened to him? Because if there are no black OCs, they haven't intentionally hired anymore. So what happened to Eric Bieniemy? Y'all told me what happened to Byron Leftwich. What happened to Bieniemy? This is interesting because y'all don't realize it's connecting the dots. It's showing you when it comes to the executive ranks, when it comes to the positions that lead to the positions of power. OCs lead to positions of power, right? There are no black OCs. OCs are over the thinking man's position, the quarterback position. If I don't want no black OCs, I'm not happy about all of these black quarterbacks taking over, hence 17-32. So Byron Leftwich is safe at CU, probably the best place for him, which is why they don't like Coach Prime. Yes, he was at UCLA, but I think he's at the Raiders now, but he's not the OC. I bet he's not. Deshaun Foster is the head coach at UCLA. So I don't know what happened to Bieniemy at UCLA. He's the OC for UCLA or the OC for the Raiders. Which one is he? Because y'all saying Willie said he was at UCLA, but he's at the Raiders now, but not the OC. And Isaiah said he is the OC at UCLA under Deshaun Foster. Let's see if we can clarify that. He is the running back coach. Oh, Lord. He's the running back coach at the Chicago Bears. Y'all got this man 3 jobs. Okay, which one is he? I love this. This is awesome. This is how we get to the bottom of things. Oh, he's at the Bears. Okay, he got fired or they moved on from him. Okay, so he's the running back coach in Chicago? Wow. Okay. Well, they still keeping him in the league, but not in positions of control over the players. Yes, but the league, no decision-making ability in terms of the league and what it looks like. That man got a lot of jobs. I think we learned he's with the Bears over there with the coach that just came from Detroit. Yeah. Okay. So they hired Aaron Glenn, but they got rid of Antonio Pierce. So they hired one and got rid of 2. What Jay-Z say? Somebody FUBU 2 for 1 or something like that. So they got Aaron Glenn. He was a DC. They took that. They actually demolished, obliterated the Detroit Lions after that game, didn't they? Their head coach is now their OC from Detroit is now in Chicago, where y'all saying Eric Bieniemy is the running back coach. Wow. Okay. Well, people think they're going to get rid of Tomlin next year, which is why they say Aaron Rodgers is there to make sure that happens. So, see, it's not about football. It's not about football. It's not about winning games. It's about blocking black players, black men from accelerating to positions that lead to power. We're talking offensive coordinator, head coach, quarterback, which is why all the quarterbacks are stacked up on the same teams. Or they trying. We still got a few that's not. CJ Stroud is not. Jaden Daniels is not. Geno Smith is not yet. These are all places Shador could go. The Jets got 2, so he can go there because they're gonna have 3. Believe me, if they move Shador, they're not putting him on a team where he can get to the front. And I just want y'all to know, I don't think Shador understands what we're talking about here. I don't get the impression he sees the play yet. I don't get that impression. I see a lot of people are starting to see it, but remember, he's likely not on social media a lot right now. I don't think he's connected the dots. I think he thought they was going to give him a fair opportunity. I think he thinks if he goes out there early, works out hard, that it'll happen. It will if the other two get hurt. It ain't going to have no choice. But they will go find somebody else. And like they said, willing to ship somebody off the first before week 1. And I already said that was going to be Shedeur, because it's too late for him to learn the playbook. And the longer he's in Cleveland, the more people are talking about the organization being complicit with the collusion in the draft and guilty of collusion of themselves, of their own. So I think they're going to ship him out. Haslam and Deshaun. Haslam said Deshaun will play when he gets better. They don't want him to play. He lying. The whole goal of the Deshaun Watson situation is to make sure that he don't ball out so nobody can ask for his contract. Maybe they'll let him ball out this last year. We'll see. Thank you, Val C. Lip service. That's what I call that. Lip service. Much like Roger Goodell told Bucky he was going to let him film the NFL. But now he has to ask each individual team. Let's hope it works out. They all going to say we got our own media. That's what they're going to say. Eric Bieniemy should have stayed at Kansas City Chiefs. What, they offered him a job to go somewhere else? How is it racist? Tomlin been coaching for almost 20 years. Well, let me educate you. All right. Mike Tomlin gets the players that are problematic. He doesn't ask for them. I want you to think about the players he's had, like George Pickens and some other people. They make it hard for him because they keep sending him players that he has to control. If I'm out here babysitting George Pickens, then maybe my awareness isn't such that I could win. If you think they like Mike Tomlin, tell me why he had 2 black quarterbacks last year that he brought over there, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, and suddenly he have none. Why is it Mike Tomlin was the only coach in the NFL that was advised to draft Shedeur Sanders and make him number 2 behind Aaron Rodgers? Why was Mike Tomlin the only coach that Aaron Rodgers was forced on his roster? Why did Aaron Rodgers get the choice of where he went? Why is it Aaron Rodgers could tell after Mike Tomlin does an interview with Shedeur Sanders? Why is it that Aaron Rodgers could tell the Pittsburgh Steelers brass, if you get Shedeur Sanders, you can forget about me? Mike Tomlin don't have no power. I don't give a damn how long he been there. He's good for business if he has melanin. The optics. Why Andrew Berry got a job and he messed up with Deshaun Watson and with Shedeur Sanders? Optics. It confuses people when you see somebody who's melanated mistreating, devaluing another black person. They make his life hard. I heard somebody say it. If Mike Tomlin call you and say, I got a player for you, hang up in his face. That has been said out loud. Because his players are problematic. That's why he has problematic players. He himself have defeated the odds. Actually, not picking Shedeur was saving Shedeur because he was going to be on the roster behind Aaron Rodgers. And Mike Tomlin came out and said he would have just been behind Aaron Rodgers. So that don't make no sense. Mike Tomlin is on borrowed time. It's just hard to fire a person who has never had a losing season. Maybe they think the fans gonna care. You see, they let him get DK Metcalf and snatch Russell Wilson right off of that team. You don't think Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf were supposed to work together? Of course they were. Ryan Clark said it. He don't have no power. When he brought those 2 black quarterbacks over there, they snatched his power away. Took his 2 black quarterbacks and gave him Aaron Rodgers and Will Howard. He couldn't get Shedeur if he wanted him. You have no choices here. There you go. It's called existing, surviving for 20 years, not thriving for 20 years. Shedeur best to get cut and find his own team if they don't blackball him. Well, I'm pretty sure they will because they don't seem to be into any independent thinking. There's no independent thinking. There's no black OCs, so I don't want no black quarterbacks either. I was like, watch what happens. That's why they all stacked up on the same team. That's why. I love when people say, you can't say, well, this is what they used to say. They can't say it no more. You can't say it's racism because look at the last few years. The quarterbacks in the first overall or first round were black. I'm like, Michael Penix Jr. had to sit behind Kirk Cousins and had to come back and save the team, do all the grunt work, but it was too late. So he had to compete. First round QB, compete with the guy coming off of what? An Achilles heel, an ACL or something, and 36 years of age, and it was a disaster, and now he can start. Same thing gonna happen to Shedeur. Pickett is out. They say he out with a hamstring injury for 4 to 6 weeks, which means they just don't want him to be a part of the process because he don't look good. Shedeur look better than him. And they don't want people saying, Shedeur better than Pickett, because people are already saying Shedeur is better than Dylan Gabriel. They can't convince nobody that Dylan Gabriel is better than Shedeur. It's a soap opera. I want to see tomorrow what lie they gonna tell now. I'm ready. I'm ready because today was good. Today was good. Haslam just stood up there and lied. I'm like, oh, y'all not familiar with the internet generation. They will pull up every receipt that is documented to show you you're lying. See, they not hip with like that. See, they still thinking this 1968 and whatever they say is what we have to believe because we have no other way to prove it. False. They think they're dealing with the NFL players who have to use arbitration. False again. Andrew Berry finna learn a valuable lesson. Don't never let nobody use you. They're looking for any reason to fire Mike Tomlin. There you go. Colin Cowherd and Stephen A. calls for his job every season. The only thing serving him is that he's never had a losing season. I just said it. And guess what he finna have with Aaron Rodgers? That's what we were talking about. That's what's saving him. I said it's because the man never had a losing season. It's hard to fire somebody with a losing season. They can sue you for something. I can go figure out why you fired me and sue you. So here, we're going to have a losing season with him. And I'm going to get rid of you. Yeah, it just ain't going to work out. And that's going to be 3 black head coaches. No black OCs. Starting QB1s. Elite QBs all stacked on the same teams. Y'all see what they're doing, right? Keeping the black man out the way from the leadership, decision-making positions. Stacking the QBs together so they can't spread out and take over. Because they knew it was going to happen. White starting QBs become the majority. And now I heard Matt Stafford is out with back soreness. People are saying, please send Shedeur there. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. There's a reason why they're putting the black QBs behind other black QBs and not putting black elite QBs like Shedeur Sanders behind white QBs. If so, they so far off the depth chart, they can't get to the top. That's the theory. That's Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Milroe. Tennessee's being extremely nice to Cam ever since they found that noose at the construction site of the new stadium. I wonder if it had a note. Well, I heard what the coach said. Y'all don't like him, so we don't like him either. This is going to be one hell of an interesting football season because the NFL is doing everything to move black men from powers of position, influence, and visibility. Decision-making ability. Everything. Quarterbacks stacked. No OCs that are black. Head coaches eliminated. Hired 1 and fired 2. That's where we at, people. Let's see what y'all saying. It said Cleveland Browns drafted Shedeur to humiliate him because Deion Sanders said that he didn't want Shedeur going to Cleveland. Coach Prime said that he didn't say he didn't want Shedeur going to Cleveland. He said after Deshaun Kaiser went 0-15, Coach Prime stood up for that young man and said no young quarterback should go to Cleveland. He was right. What they did to Deshaun Kaiser, and his head coach was black, I think. Hugh somebody was the black head coach. I have no idea. why they let that young man go 0-15. If that's who his coach was, he was the coach. I think he ended up at Grambling. He was somebody. Coach Prime started his text off by saying, I like what they're doing in Cleveland, because I think they had a black head coach at the time. I looked it up. But no young quarterback should go there. Deshaun Kaiser, he said this after the season. Deshaun Kaiser went 0-15. So Coach Prime spoke up for him. They're not doing the same thing to his son. They won't even let his son touch the football. They're not holding just Shador back. No black OCs stacking black quarterbacks on the same team so they can't take over the league. If I have the majority of my starters black, several OCs that are black, DCs that are black, where is this going? Maybe that's going to lead to more head coaches that are black? No. And plus, the non-black OCs can control the quarterbacks. Think about what happened in Tennessee with every black quarterback they had. They turned Steve McNair, who was Air McNair, into Ground McNair and had him to hand off the ball to the running back. If Shador played in the preseason, they might do the same thing to him so he don't show his skill set. Be ready for it. If he's still there, he could be gone tomorrow. But Shador said it. I mean, you just want to be grateful for every opportunity because you could have a new job tomorrow. So he kind of know that. I don't know if he know if this why this is happening. He might. I'm not sure. I don't think he's never been in this situation before. So when you're new, you don't really know what it is the first time. But when you've seen it over and over and over and you didn't experience it, you know exactly what the hell is going on. And you got to look at the whole landscape. No black OCs. Fired 2 black coaches, got 1 black one. Because another team got some draft picks. But he on the clock and so is Justin Fields. But not Daniel Jones. People like the head coach when Steve McNair was there at the time, doing the same thing they're going to do to Shador, the same thing they did to Vince Young, the same thing they did to Malik Willis. They starting to talk about Cam Moore ever since that news. Now we're going to have to wait and see what they really going to do. They're getting him the VR treatment. So just in case you don't know, they're using technology that Jaden Daniels used at LSU, which people believe credit Jaden Daniels with becoming a Heisman and taking the Washington Commanders all the way to the championship game of some sort. The VR, I like it because I'm a techie, but I personally don't think that the VR is the reason Jaden Daniels is as good as he is. What it does is the team is customized per team. I don't know why they don't do this with Shador and or Dylan or anybody else in Cleveland, but I don't care because I think Shador is leaving. Jaden Daniels wrote into his contract, whatever team draft him, they have to be willing to purchase the VR technology and customize it with the plays so he can put on the goggles and it gives you virtual reps. So you're running your plays through VR. So while I think Jaden Daniels will be good regardless, it makes you a little sharper. I don't think it gives you magical powers. I don't think it can take Dylan and make him taller. I don't think it can keep him from throwing interceptions. It's almost like you're memorizing the playbook and you're practicing the reps. And I was like, oh, Shador could get this because he might already have it, but not through Cleveland. But Shador, if Shador had it with Cleveland, just like he's not getting reps on the field, he could go home, put these goggles on, and do all the reps he wants to with the plays. Now they could switch up the plays and then, he'd be screwed. But it is a tool that you can help to sharpen the skill set. It doesn't make you taller. If you're not a good quarterback, it's not going to make you a good quarterback. And Bernie Kosar said it. Shador has skills that you can't teach, and VR can't help with that. VR is like a flight simulator for quarterbacks. Imagine you're simulating a flight, right? So everything that comes with that. There are some people that are talented on the pilot side because they have instincts and things about them that help them to be the best. And there are people, they learn things, right? We talked about this with the WNBA. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. You can tell Caitlin Clark is taught. You can tell Angel Reese has it. It's the same thing with Shador. Dylan Gabriel is taught, but it's not enough. Whereas Shador, Bernie Kosar said it, there are things about Shador that you can't teach. The NFL refuses to believe that. They refuse to believe it. And they think they could hold it back and stack them on the same team. Tomlin gets fired. He should have kept Russell Wilson. He didn't have a choice. Even though around January 30th, I think I saw a post right before the Super Bowl, January 30th, that said Pittsburgh would like to keep Russell Wilson. The next thing you know, Russell Wilson is getting booted out. And I remember Pittsburgh fans asking, why is Aaron Rodgers being forced on us to get rid of your coach? Because again, why? Because he had the audacity to be a coach, make a decision, get Russell Wilson from Denver, get Justin Fields from Chicago. Both were being abused. Am I right? So he gave them shelter. I always say it that way. I can say it that way out loud. I've always said it that way. He gave them shelter from them horrible situations they were in. You see, won't nobody do it for Shador. Tomlin would have been the only person, and he said it would have been futile. He couldn't because Aaron Rodgers said, if you get Shador, I'm not going there. What the hell is he worried about? And now he out the league next year because his domestic violence allegations have been told by Danica Patrick. The league just don't want to talk about it. They won't talk about speeding tickets. So that's why he couldn't keep Russ. He had no choice. I don't even know how he keeping that job. It's going to give him a heart attack. See, when you deal with that kind of stress, your life is going to end early. He might think it's worth it. He might think he's fighting for something, but he's not. So it's going to have to be ripped from his hands. He need to write a book or wear a wire. They send reporters like Kyle Hurd and Stephen A. to say what the owners want to say and test the waters, facts. And Albert Breer too. Don't forget about him. I heard over and over and over what Coach Prime said on the Tamara Hall show, and it didn't sound good at all. But I'm standing with the Sanders. What you talking about, Queen T? It said 12 is better than over half the NFL QBs, right? Which is why he was going to be a number one pick overall. They don't want to talk about that. But you facts on that one, Patrick. It said they always stack black QBs together just like they did Michael Vick and Vince Young, right? Yep, when Michael Vick came back to the NFL, they sure did send him to Philly. Well, now it's more obvious because it's so many. See, back then it wasn't as many. Now you like looking at this going, what the hell is going on? If you pay attention, because I'm gonna pull a chart out. Remember the chart that I made? Let me get the one that I already had. Because remember, we gonna leave off with this one and we're gonna put together a new one. I heard people talking and saying something about they ready to put $4 million Joe Milton in front of $200 million Dak Prescott. Have y'all heard about that? Remember they drafted or they traded for Joe Milton and put him behind Dak, which is also made Jerry Jones basically tell Shador, we full, we don't have no room for a quarterback. Now they saying, somebody told me earlier today that they sick of Dak. They want to put Joe Milton in front of him. Joe Milton's contract is $4 million. Dak's is like $263 million. Last year, Dak was the highest paid by the yearly salary of $60 million. I think Josh Allen and Brock Purdy might have beat them out. So yeah, we're gonna do our new chart tomorrow so we could look and see where everybody is. And it wouldn't surprise me if, somebody getting ready to leave Cleveland, somebody named Shador going to the Jets. You see them moving Dylan to the Jets? Yes or no in the comments. Yes, Dylan to the Jets. No, Dylan not going to the Jets. If you think yes, just put the yes part. I'm looking for something. This chart we used to use that when we did our pre-draft, when we thought everything was on the up and up. Here it is right here. This is one of them. It's a copy, so we'll just use this one. Okay, so tomorrow there's another one that I have. This was the one that I had, and this was the one that was a post-free agency, which means after Russell Wilson was shipped out and everybody else was moving around. Post-free agency and the second draft projection. All right, so what that turned out to be was, let me see. Let me take the comments off the screen. Hold on one second. We had hold on one second. All right. So we had the Chicago Bears, the NFC. So the NFC, we had Caleb Williams in Chicago. He up there by himself, right? Jordan Love now has Malik Willis with him. So we didn't put the number 2s on here. We just put the number 1s. Tomorrow I'm gonna redo this chart before I go live tomorrow. We're gonna look at the ones that are stacked together. I think it's 24 black QBs stacked together. And Deshaun and Shador on the same team. So they stacked too. Let's see. And they are not the majority. Keep in mind, black QBs are not the majority. They are just the majority almost of the starters. That's what the fight is about. Keeping that from happening, just like the OCs. So you have Caleb, Jordan Love, now Malik Willis, Lamar Jackson, Shador would have been down here. Deshaun Watson, pick one, but since Deshaun is out, I think we had Shador over here. Then we had people pointed out that the NFC East was stacked. They stacked all of them together, so only one of them could come out. Russell Wilson, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, and Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is stacked with Joe Milton. Jaden Daniels, nobody's behind him. That's black, I don't think. Jalen Hurts has DTR. Russell Wilson actually has Jameis Winston. So they stacked. So 1, 2, 3 out of 4. So really that's 8 black quarterbacks, 7 or 8, just in one conference. And the Saints players wanted Jameis Winston. So I had Jalen Milroe projected to go to the Saints because at number 40, he was supposed to go to the Saints. He was the 3rd QB off the board. Then we had Bryce Young. He's still over there. They finally got their stuff together in Carolina. And Michael Penix Jr. Now let's talk about Bryce Young for a second. When we talk about Shador, there were people, y'all know Bryce Young was sacked excessively. And people called out the Carolina Panthers. There were teams wanting to go in and do a hostile takeover after the Panthers benched Bryce Young after allowing him to be sacked over 60 some odd times. People asked after Caleb in New York was drafted and sacked 68 times, how many times was Shador Sanders going to be sacked? So we're talking about Bryce Young because he went through it. I think he suffered the same PTSD Shador experienced at CU when Shador was being sacked excessively. The difference with Bryce Young and Shador in Cleveland, Bryce Young is still on the same team that was problematic, and it has made a turn while he's there. So does anybody know what was the catalyst for the Carolina Panthers to get themselves together? Did they sell the team? At one point, Steph Curry wanted to buy it, but they went with somebody else. So if they had a change in ownership like the Washington Commanders, where Jaden Daniels is, Bryce Young is one of the quarterbacks that went to a team. They was on that BS, allowing this young black QB, starting QB, to be sacked because people were upset about that. He was a Heisman winner, sacked excessively, blamed him for it, benched him, and then the other teams came running. Now the Carolina Panthers have gotten their act together. They celebrate their QB. People think they might be in the top 5 when it comes down to vying for the Super Bowl. So it can happen. It's just I have to study the Carolina Panthers a little bit more to see what the change was. Now, I will tell you that tickets went down to 45 cents and nobody in Carolina wanted to go. There are pictures with near empty stadiums. And I'm not kidding. I know that's probably part of it, but I'm wondering if they had a change of ownership. If not, the fans were the difference, but I'd have to study it. But if you know what was the difference, let me know, because it shows you Bryce Young, he made it through, but look what he had to go through to get there. He sacrificed his body. He might not feel it now because he's younger, but when he get older, he gonna feel them sacks. But another team came for him. That's how you know that it's collusion. It's a moratorium on Shador Sanders. Nobody's coming for him, and he's the best. They said it today on one of those channels I was watching, could be probably ESPN, and they said during the preseason, they're going to be other teams watching Shador audition. Shador been auditioning since OTAs. Has anybody come running yet? I said that he's going to be forced out of there. That's what I said. They're going to be forced to trade him. Their backs are going to be against the wall. They're not going to have a choice. That's what it's going to come down to. Mark my words. But Bryce Young is proof that things do change. I just don't know what the change was, but their tickets went down to 45 cents. So Jalen Milroe ended up in Seattle, and they want to bury him on the depth chart like Shedeur. The difference between Jalen Milroe and Shedeur is Shedeur's fan base. People are paying attention. Milroe's quiet. He went through this at Alabama. Michael Penix Jr. made it to the Falcons. So we got over here Kyler Murray. Technically, it could be Kyler Murray and it could be Jalen Milroe, but they think they have him buried over there. Kyler Murray is stacked over there with Jacoby Brissett behind him. So that's two black quarterbacks that could be, one could be in San Francisco or somewhere, but they got him on the same team. So in Seattle, Milroe is second or third on the depth chart. They trying to make him third. It came out that, Brock Purdy just got his contract. Don't know who over there with him, but ain't nobody going that got melanin. Trust me on that. And then Matt Stafford out with back soreness. People say Shedeur should go there. And they like that. That's not going to happen. So when you get down here to the AFC South, it looks similar to the NFC East, right? You have the Texans with CJ Stroud. Cam was the pickup. He was the game. Shedeur's over there with Deshaun. So Cam is actually a gain when you add the numbers. And then you have the Indianapolis Colts. Interesting situation. Daniel Jones was in Minnesota behind JJ McCarthy, but they took him from over there and sent him behind Anthony Richardson, who's supposed to be out with an injury. But they said he's back. So it's supposed to be Daniel Jones proving himself that he could compete and take Anthony Richardson's job. Pay attention to the Colts. Now, the AFC East is quite interesting. If you notice, Justin Fields is now over here. Before Justin Fields was over here, there was nobody except for Tua. And they got Quinn Ewers behind Tua. And I think they intentionally sent Quinn Ewers there because they know Tua is on the clock. But he said he playing. So, and then over here in the AFC, you got Lamar, Shedeur, and you have Deshaun. So if Shedeur goes to a team like the Jets, he'll be over here. People talked about him going behind Josh Allen. I said, that's wishful thinking. That means y'all don't know what's really going on. If he go anywhere in the AFC East, he going to be stacked over there with the other two black quarterbacks. So you got to look at who doesn't have another black QB with them, and that's where he going. Or if they got too many, he going over there too. They're not letting him go behind McCarthy, Matt Stafford, Brock Purdy, Josh Allen. No, they're not going to do that. So I'm going to redo this now that everybody's somewhere different. Now you have Joe Milton, and I'll show the pairings. I'll show the quarterbacks that are stacked. So I think it'll help everybody to see that. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Cleveland, and we're going to be looking at these quarterbacks so y'all can see it a little clearly. It said, yes, it would make sense that Dylan would go to the Dolphins in the trade. Okay, that I like it, but that ain't going to happen. So you think they would trade Dylan and keep Shedeur? Okay, that's interesting. It could happen, but they're going to be forced to do it. Q-Dog said, wish I would have found your channel a long time ago. You are very knowledgeable and entertaining. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Dylan to the Dolphins. Okay, Robert and Sean both like Dylan to the Dolphins. People, anybody else for the Dylan to the Dolphins? Because that's what people like. Queen T is talking about, she heard Deion said that he didn't want Shedeur going to Cleveland. Now you know why he didn't want Shedeur going to Cleveland. Cleveland is horrible. They've had 12 starting quarterbacks in the last 4 seasons. 25 in the last 40 in the last 25 years. Okay, all right. It said, I'm a helicopter pilot, and I can tell you firsthand that there's a huge difference between using a simulator and a real pilot and command actual flight time. I love it. When I was listening to that documentary and they were talking about Jaden Daniels being so good because of VR, I'm a tech person, right? I told y'all what I do, right? So I was like, yeah, but it's not a magician. He's good because he's good. And I'm like, they got to be careful with that. So now they want Cam to use it. Now the Tennessee Titans, before they got Cam, they went ahead and got the VR unit. They have it outfitted for their plays before Cam arrived. They knew they were, it was going to be for him at one point. So they got the plays outfitted for Cam to use the VR simulator. So they want to say That's why Jada Daniels is good. If Cam is good, it's not going to be because Cam is good. It's going to be because of the VR unit. See, you got to watch the NFL. You know, anything to take away from these black guys' abilities. You know, oh, he's not that good, so I could go give this to Daniel Jones and he going to turn into a magician. Okay. So when I listened to it, I like what they had to say. I could see how it could be useful. But again, we talking technology shit. AI is limited. You know, AI is limited. It can't do what I want it to do. So it can go find something for me because it got to be already out there. I tell people it's like a fishbowl. You take a fishbowl and you write stuff on paper, you tear it up and you put it in there. Whatever goes in is what it can go and find. If it's not in there, it can't find it. So it's like Siri, the next level. That's it, right? It's a scraper. It goes get information that's already publicly available. So thank you for telling me that. So people like Dylan to the Dolphins. Okay. It makes sense. That's what they say. I think Milton will get some playing time in Dallas. Yeah, I can't see what the play is there. I can't see what the play is other than not to give Dak a contract extension, but he still probably got about 2 years left, right? Because he signed that contract last year. So I don't know what they got going on in Dallas. Coach Prime said, I'm not going to let my son go to any team. And, oh, yeah, I remember that. But you see why? Because he knows how they do people. He knew he was going to have some type of protection. And clearly, he needs it. And it's Jalen Milroe needed to. CJ Stroud needed it. Lamar Jackson needed it. It's not just Coach Prime. He just the first one of all of them that was connected to the league that stood up and say, hey, I want to make sure my son lands safely. But that's the same thing that the Mannings did. But see, that's just the mentality of Jim Crow. Well, that's the Mannings. So they're trying to say the Sanders and the Mannings are not on equal footing. That's a lie. It must be the different people. But that's a lie. Because you see, they don't play about Shador. I love the Sanders. I do too. It didn't matter what Coach Prime said. Coach Prime did exactly what Archie Manning did for his son. He was drafted by the Chargers and refused to go. And Archie Manning called up somebody and said, my son is not playing for them. Yep. So why can't Coach Prime do it? Because the NFL has a system of Jim Crow. That's why. If I was to do it, I would ask for release. Nope. Can't do that. He would never get a fair shake at Cleveland. Release and go where? Home? Because that ain't going to work. You better look at Deshaun Watson. That ain't going to work. You know other content creators be stealing your content. Yes, I do. Good. Like the Lord said, by any means necessary, this message will get delivered. Y'all want to know what's funny? Somebody told me, we were talking about something, right? And somebody stopped by the channel and they said, I love what you're saying, but your voice is just a pebble in the ocean. I said, have you ever seen a pebble skip on the ocean? Because that's exactly what's happening. Yes, I know. I don't care. It's not hurting me. It's helping to get the message out. So let them steal it. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate it. Yes, they do steal what she said content and pretend they came up with it. Then call them out in the comments, but I don't really care. Long as they get the message out there. They probably in here now hiding in the bushes. Y'all be taking up for me. Y'all be riding for me. Y'all be laughing sometime when I see y'all getting on certain people. I don't say nothing. I can see the comments while I'm speaking, but it's hilarious. It said Queen and Blessings chat in the late night show, right? It said, yes, I'm sure of it. That's so funny. Val said that's funny. But yeah, people feel like, let me tell you something. I look at my analytics, right? I told you I'm a tech person. And I was like, I'm this close. Like when I hit 5,000, it's going to be in a different level because it tells you like the channels your viewers watch, right? So of course, I'm one of the youngest, the newest of the channels that people watch. Like these people got 50,000 subs and stuff like this. And I'm trying to get to 10, right? So like I think I'm at 4,100 and we're growing, right? So when I hit 5,000, it's going to be a lot of people stealing. It's going to be because I have more of a footprint, right? So I'm okay with it as long as they deliver the message, because that's why I don't care. If you want to say what I'm saying, then have at it, right? Because it takes courage. So, you know, I know. Yes, I know. Sometimes I see stuff and I just keep pushing. I don't say nothing. So it said Peyton Manning still lives in Colorado. Coach Prime is definitely more of an influence here on the community. Are you in Colorado, Robert? It said Peyton is great, but Coach Prime is on another level. Really? I saw a video with Shador throwing the ball around to Peyton Manning when he was younger, and Coach Prime was out there covering you know, Peyton. They know these people. They know these people. They know these people. All right, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. We're an hour and 49 minutes in. I still got work to do before I shut it down for tonight. This was awesome. This turned out better to be than just, you know, talking. This is a great exchange of knowledge sharing and preparing us for the next conversation, you know, that we're gonna take. I'm gonna take the list and show exactly what the quarterbacks are, the black quarterbacks are at this moment. And see what, you know, we're gonna go from there. Of course, we're gonna see what Shador got going on. You have a natural talent, almost like you're some kind of lawyer or something. Oh, thank you, Willie. Thank you. I appreciate it. I get that a lot. Thank you. All right. I am an executive. I will tell you that. So we're gonna get out of here. And we're gonna be back tomorrow. Obviously, we following Shador. We'll see what's going on with the Buffs somewhere in between the day. Any day now, I feel like Shador can be traded. And any day now, I feel like he could be traded. We're gonna see what's going on. He's done his best. I'm very proud of him, actually. I'm very proud of him for dealing with this. And I hope he really has some friends on that team. People are noticing that he engaged, have a real connection. And I said to myself, hell, like, neither one of them probably gonna be on the team. I'm not joking. So I noticed they had Deontay Johnson, who's a first string wide receiver 3, working out with Shador, and Shador hasn't worked out with the ones yet. So I wonder if they try to move Luke Floria up over, because he's on the same tree, the depth chart for wide receiver 3 with Deontay Johnson. I said, I wonder if they trying to move Luke Floria up where to starter and move back Deontay Johnson to 2nd or 3. Pay attention. All right, we're going to be out. We're going to be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. This was awesome. I'll see y'all later. Let me see. A few more comments just came in. What y'all saying? Blessings, Wild Dog. How you doing? Great show as always. Have a good night. Thank you, Robert. If I was Shador, I would give it a year in the NFL or go to the CFL. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to go the way he wanted to go. But again, Bryce Young, look at Bryce Young's situation. It turned around. Good night, everybody. May the angels watch over everybody. Okay, I like that. Thank you, Reverend Nelson. Thank you. Good night. I'll see y'all later. See you later, everybody. See y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports.
Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.